Hello, I would like to tell you something about Migopos Wall Builder. It's currently under development, but you can also get your copy of it. And well, if you open up a new Blender scene, then what you need to do is, or well, what I always do, is to remove everything from what is already in the scene. So what I do is just press the A button. To click outside this cube first, the A button, and then everything in the scene is selected, and then press the delete button. Or what you just can do is select everything here and delete it. You can right click and delete. But well, it's not really necessary, but I think it's better just not to have anything in your scene that you're not working with. Okay, then how to reach your add-on. Add-ons in Blender can be reached in a very, well, they're hidden. And they're hidden here underneath this little arrow. So if you click this arrow, then here you've got the tabs with all the add-ons. And if you didn't already install it, then you first need to install, and you do this also hidden. Edit, preferences, and then here you've got this little arrow and install from disk, and then you choose your file. Anyway, then by pressing N on your keyboard or pressing this little arrow, you can reach the add-on. So that's already quite a lot, and there's going to be more. So if you click here on the brick wall add-on, or well, it's going to be called different, you can also resize this by clicking and dragging here on the border. If it changes the icon like so, and now you've got all the settings for your add-on. Then if you start, you always start from creating a curve, and this curve will be the basis for your wall. And to do so, you need to be in the top view. So there are several ways to get to the top view. The most easiest way, if you've got a keyboard with numeric pad, you just hit the 7 on your keyboard, or if you don't have got it, view, viewport, top. So now we're on top orthographic. So that's straight from it's a view from straight above. Okay, now we need this wall curve, so I'm going to click on it, and it already creates some kind of wall curve. If you hold the shift key and together with middle mouse button, click and drag, you can pan around, but you can also use this little hands to do so. And zooming in and out you can do here with this magnifying glass. So left click on it and drag, or you can use the mouse wheel, rotate it, and it's the same effect. Okay, so if we look a little bit closer, what I did, I already tried to make this curve, the standard Blender curve, a little bit more visible by creating this, well, orange layer around it. But it also has got curve points which are black currently, so I also need to work on that. So what we want, if we want to reposition these points so the curve will look the way we want, and if you've got this tool, the select box, enabled by clicking on it, and it's already active, then you click here a little bit outside and drag and then release, and then both these points are selected, and then you can grab, and grabbing is the G, or you can just, and I think it's easier for you, use the transform tool to move this a little bit aside like so. So our wall will be a little bit bigger. I'm going to click here outside of this curve, then I'm going to click on this little dot here, and we're going to make this curve a little bit longer by adding more segments. So we do so by pressing the E on your keyboard and then just move your mouse button and release where you want it. I'm going to do it again and again, like so. Next, I want to see this whole curve from the side. I'm going to use the middle mouse button for this. Click and hold it, and then you'll see it from the side. Okay, so this is a nice starting position to actually start creating the wall. So for creating the wall, we need to have this wall path selected. It's currently also in edit mode. We could go back from edit mode to object mode, and now we don't have also this transform gizmo. It's selected because it's orange here, and that's important. If it's selected, we can click here, generate and apply, and now we've got ourselves a nice brick wall. And you can see it also works on corners that are wider, even very wide or very narrow. It creates a nice brick pattern everywhere. So here I think something went not okay, but these kinds of things you can also fix. But first I'm going to show you something different. You can also create rocks. So I'm going to click on it. If you change anything here in the settings, you need to reapply everything with wall path selected. So I'm going to hit it, and I can see it also creates a nice wall of different kind of bricks. It's more a natural stone wall, and it looks even better if you use curved wall. Then there are no real sharp edges here in the curve. It's all smooth. So I'm going to click here, and we're going to set the rounding setting because 0 will be just sharp. And I'm going to increase this to, let's say, 1 or so, and apply, and now you can see it's a nice smooth curvy wall, which also works with bricks. And now the same thing for the brick wall. And you can see here, this is a pattern I don't like. You may like it, but I don't. Disable it here, all stones, and now everything continues. Okay, I'm going to disable this option, recreate it, and well, what else can I say? Well, there's some more settings, but you can check them yourselves. There are dimensions. In this build it doesn't work, so I can't show you. But here you can change the stone length and the height and the wall depth, and also the joint width and the number of layers. From what I think, it has been translated recently, so I need to still make the shift from Dutch to English here. Then we can set the bond distribution, well, currently this doesn't work, but it will work, I hope, in the near future. But what's very interesting here is that you also got every end stone option, and you can say, for example, every second stone you want a protrusion, and you can set it to a little bigger, higher. Oh, sorry. You can set it to a higher value, set outer or inner. You can also change this setting, because -1 means the whole curve, and you can also set it to, for example, only work on a specific segment. But let's see how it works for the whole curve. So it goes to the inner side. Blender doesn't really know here, I think, what's inside or outside, but let's set it to inner side, and now all those bricks are protruding like so. and you can set it to only one segment. So let's say we're going to use the second segment here because it starts with 0, and now it only is here. And this also works not only for a whole wall, but it also works for parts of the wall. I mean rows of brick layers, from what I think. Didn't test it, let's check it. So if I set it to not be identical and generate, no, it's still going to, okay, so that's something I need to make an adjustment in, but so it also will work for just one single row. Yeah, okay. So what I already told you is that there is the possibility to set settings for just a single row. So for example, if we set the uppermost, the 7th row to a different height, like so, and again I can see that this specific row has higher stones, and you can also set the length to a different value, and you can also set the joint to a different value, so that's the space in between the stones. And now it looks like this, so it's quite easy to create, well, some nice brick patterns here. And well, there is an option for auto bonding, but it's also possible to use stack or custom offsets. And what's very interesting is that you can use your own objects to be replaced, to replace these bricks. So for example, you want a very specific shape with also material and, well, everything combined, and you just create this wall, so to have a little temporary view on how it would look like, and then you just replace everything with your own objects, and then the wall will look completely different. And you can use a random order for this or a sequence, so that's a very powerful feature. Then there is the option also to offset the points of this specific curve, but not the whole curve, but every layer of these curves. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to increase here the second row, and generate and apply. And you can see here that is shifting. So this way you can also create, well, some bended walls. Then it's important to distinguish point offsets from a curve shape, because this one is for the whole wall. This is just those are the coordinates of the lowest curve, so the curve that you created at start. Then first I'm going to do a nice reset of all the settings to have a simple wall. And what's also included is a tile generator. So I'm going to set it to inner side here, because we already saw that outer side was the inner side, so that's not okay. Generate and apply, and now you've got tiles over your stones, and you can set all the settings for these tiles, and you can also set them to be stacked, and they will look like this. Okay, so those are the tiles. And what next? Then there is the cutting. Of course, you want to add some doors or windows. You've got some pre-made shapes here, just basic shapes, but you can create your own shapes and add them here to the list. I'm going to use this round arch, add shape here, and then, well, need to set specific settings for this arch so it doesn't become so big in comparison to the wall itself. But you can use here the transform tool. Oh, not on this one. Undo. Click it. We need. Yeah. And now it's important that the wall is inside our object. And I'm going to reduce the size here of this thing. Okay. And now I'm going to do the apply again, but if I click here on apply, it won't work because we've got this box selected instead of our wall path. So now I've got the wall path selected, and now I can generate it, and as you can see, it did cut the wall. So you can easily create your cuts for walls or for doors, windows, or anything you'd like. So that's one thing, and then there's an experimental add-on for this, and where is it? Need to check. It's a roof cladding, and well, this is experimental, but I'm going to show you with a cube. So for this one, you don't need the wall path. You just create a shape, and it will use all the sides, so all the polygons here of this object to create roof cladding. So yeah, let's just hit the button, and you can see it created a roof cladding. But still, it doesn't quite work the way I want it, because well, the whole roof cladding is not sticking to the side of the cube here. But so, work in progress.